and gentlemen, here we are today, okay? We're talking about credit card main series. This is part 2. I'm excited to talk about this series because I think you're going to learn a whole lot today, a whole lot. Matter of fact, even in my research, I learned a few things. Learn credit card terminology to save money while using credit card to the fullest extent. There are some things on the credit card that will give you benefits. The problem is, most of the time, we really don't take the time to read the benefits. We just want to get the card so we can use it to purchase the items that we need. That's okay. That's okay. But remember, read the benefits. Some of you are swiping cards right now and you're getting cash back and you don't know it and you're losing it. Or you're getting points and the points expire over a period of time and you're losing it. That could be trips. You could have bought a camera. You could have had a hotel stay. Listen, let's look at the credit card terminology and see what we can learn today. All right, here we go. Again, YouTube. Credit Commander YouTube channel, like, subscribe, click the bell. See the latest financial and travel self-help videos to increase your financial knowledge and your personal wealth. Let's do that today. How about that? And here we go again for today's lesson today, okay? Here we go. Strategy to kill wealth and increase, strategy to kill debt and increase wealth. How to build and increase your credit and credit score. How to build wealth through different business strategies. Leaving a legacy for your family and effective tax strategy. That's what we talk about every week. Here is the word of the day. The word of the day is, hey, get issues out of your hands. Whatever you're going through, whatever you need, whether it's financial issues, it's relationship issues, it's health issues, get them out of your hands, okay? Put them in God's hands. Why you want to do that? Because he can handle your issues better than you can. I'm telling you right now, everything that I go to do, I see God about it. Why? Because I want his blessing. I want to know he knows more than I know. So if I seek him for something, he can reveal to me or give me an answer to some of the things that I might need or some place I might go. I might be going the wrong direction. And he'll come up and say, hey, he'll send somebody along, let me read something, say, oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. I need to go this way. So the word of the day, get issues out of your hand, put them in God's hand. He can handle the issues better than you can. All right, this is the Credit Commando. Let's go. Talk about the lesson for the day, the bottom line up front, baby. Here it is right quick. Let's talk about it. Credit card financial institution will stop charging you interest, and that's what you want them to do, is stop charging you interest on new purchases if, and that's the big if you pay your credit card balance in full by the due date and not the statement date. Now, you need to remember this one. If you don't want to pay the interest off of new purchases, okay, pay your credit card balance in full by the due date and not by the statement date. Now, probably next week, I'm gonna be pulling some credit card statements from 2 or 3, and we're gonna be talking about these due dates and statement dates and stuff like that. But this is the bottom line up front. This is what you need to know. This is how you save money. Okay? What is a credit card? Glad you asked. A plastic or metal payment card. Okay? Issued by a bank or financial institution. Allows cardholders to make purchases for goods and services. No down payment or upfront option. Okay? Credit card terminology. This is what we're going to be talking about. Annual percentage rate. Do you know what the annual percentage rate is? Most people don't know. They just know they got a card. We're going to break that annual percentage rate down so you can understand what it is. Balance transfer. These are different type of balance transfer. It's a different type of card, but you can transfer your balance from one card to another card. Credit balance. What is actually credit balance? What is it? You might be thinking one thing, but I'm going to square that away for you today and let you see what the credit card balance is. Daily periodic rate. And some of you probably never heard of that, but we're going to talk about that too. What is your grace period? How many days that you have before you have to pay? Okay? Credit card terminology. Free screen offers. I get them all the time. Some of you do too. What do they mean? What kind of value do they have? How can you get them? interest rate. Your interest rate can go up and down at any given time. Where you have a variable rate, you have a fixed rate, or you have a fixed rate and a variable rate, whatever the case may be. And we're going to talk about how to make money doing authorized user, baby. We want to make them duckies. You want to make some money? Here it is, authorized user. We're going to talk about that just in a minute. Some of these things we're going to break down later on throughout the weeks. We're going to talk about them, and then we're going to break them down even more so. Right now, we're just talking about the terminology so you can understand what's on your credit card, what's on your credit bill, how the credit card company functions, okay? And joint account. What is APR? It is your annual percentage rate, okay? Your annual percentage rate, okay? It is the cost of doing business, from borrowing money to pay for goods and services on a credit card. That's all it is, just the cost of doing business. Whatever the rate is, whether it's 10% or is it 30%, that is your cost of doing business. And if it's 10%, it's 10 cents out of every dollar that you spend. If it's 30%, it's 30% out of every dollar you spend, basically, okay? That's how we kind of calculate it. We're going to do something a little bit different here, okay? The average interest rate charged for new credit card in the United States is 24.5. Dude, did I say 24 point? Did I say 24.5%? Y'all, that's a lot of money on the new credit card. Listen, guys, we want to show you how to keep your money in your pocket. You can use it better than the banks can. You can manage your money better than the banks can, better than the financial institution can. So if you learn these strategies and the rules that I'm teaching you, then you can be more effectively manage your money, manage your spending plan. You could be paying, you don't know, $500 a month in interest. What if you had that same $500 that you may be paying? Somebody's paying $500 a month in interest. Okay, I'm telling you right now. What if you had that same $500 and you invested it in the stock, or you invested in a property, or you invested in land, or you invested in timber, or you invested in gold, or you invested in silver? You talking about building wealth. That's why you got to get off of the paying interest fee. You gotta pay your credit card in full, okay? Now, interest rate depends on your credit worthiness. If your credit is jack, don't expect nothing, okay? Your credit is jack, I'm telling you right now, expect a high score, okay? So the higher your score, normally, your credit score that is, normally the lower your interest rate. Why? Because of your credit worthiness. But the lower your credit score, the higher your interest rate. And I'm telling you right now, I prefer to pay no interest, but if I gotta pay interest, I'd rather pay 8% interest rather than 28% interest. It just, guys, it's common sense. The numbers don't lie. Again, the numbers don't lie. 8%, 28% is 20% difference. That's a lot of money that you could be doing something else with, okay? Let's talk about balance transfer. What is balance transfer? It allows the user to move or transfer credit card balance from one card to another. Now, this could be a good thing for somebody who has a high balance on a credit card that has a high interest, okay? Why? It's important because it allows you to transfer a balance from a high interest credit card to a low interest credit card or to a zero interest credit card. If you have a new credit card that is at 0% interest, okay, and your current credit card is 24.5%, and they give you anywhere from 12 to 18 months of interest free to pay that off, hey, divide your balance into 12 or 18 months, and that's what you need to pay every month. Pay it off before the 12 or 18 months. Now, if you do not pay it off before that 12 or 18 months, they go recalculate all that interest from the time you transfer the money over to that card. So if you want to be interest free, what you do is get you a 12 or 18 month 0% interest card, transfer the money over. We're going to talk about transfer balance. Once you transfer the balance over, then divide that into 12 or 18 months and pay that off. Number of transfer are made to a 0% card at a very low interest rate, okay? It allows the user to pay off the debt fast. The faster you pay off the debt, the more money that you will have in your pocket. The faster you pay off the debt, the more money that you will have in your pocket to spend for other different things. When the credit card debt is paid, you can reallocate those funds to do something else. To buy what? To pay down your debt on your home, to pay down your debt on your car, to save for kids' education, to save for a vacation, whatever the case you want. You got an extra whatever the amount of money that you paid on that credit card every month. Okay? And another thing too, I always believe in paying more than the minimum. We're going to talk about that later, but I'm going to give you a little caveat. If your credit card basic balance is, I'm just going to say $1,000, and they're giving you 2 or 3% of the $1,000, well, it's going to be like $7, $8, $12, $15, and half of that, 3/4 is going to be interest. So if you're only going to pay $12, how long do you think it'll take you months it's going to take you to pay off that card? We're going to talk about that later, and I got the answer for it, but it won't be today. Okay? Stay tuned. I got more for you. What is balance transfer? Balance transfer, normally they have a fee associated with that. Okay? Normally the fee is 3 to 5%. There's some cards out there give you a balance transfer for zippo. So because they want your business. The credit card institution knows this. Listen, if I get you to transfer your balance to my card, I give you a free offer, which is a bait, 12 to 18 months free offer. You transfer it over. That's the likelihood of I'm gonna get that 12 to 18 month interest back. Why? Because most people are gonna start doing what? Swiping that card too. It's a lower interest. They know that. That's why they offer that. Okay. Anywhere from 0 to 5%, somewhere along there. 12 to 18 month interest with no interest. Okay. It could lower your utilization if you don't watch out, because you spend too much on a particular card, it'll lower you, and that's the total amount of money that you have spent on one particular card, or your total credit card utilization. Okay? And do not pay off debt. Do not pay debt off only to increase your balance again. Do not get a credit card and then when the credit card bill up, don't pay the credit card off. Now you're in more debt. Okay? Get a system down. Whatever system you have, automatic payment. Okay? I'm gonna pay every Friday. I get paid every week on Friday. I'm gonna put something on the credit card. I get paid every 2 weeks. Okay? Every 2 weeks, I got so much going to the credit card to pay it off. If you're swiping that, you got to get some type of system down. Okay? To make sure that you don't go back into debt. You did a balance transfer, now you're going right back into debt. That's not good. Okay? Here we go. What is the credit card balance? The amount of money the card user owes on the credit card. Makes that just the balance. The amount of money the card used on the credit card. So if you owe $1,000, that is basically your credit card balance. We're going to talk about a little bit something different in just in a few minutes about credit card balance. But the balance increased when charges are made. So if you got $1,000 on a credit card, you swipe gas $10. Now you got $1,010. Okay. The balance decreased when the funds are paid. So, okay, you got $1,000 on your credit card again. You pay $100 on there. Now your balance is what? $900. Okay? So this is simple, okay? Balance includes credit card fees, over the limit fees, other fees, late fees, or whatever fees there are. Your balance is going to include those fees on your statement, okay? What's the difference between credit card balance and statement balance? Now, some people don't know this, and I think it's important to look at, okay? Credit card balance is the amount of money the user owes to the card issuer. That's just the total amount of money that the user owes to the card issuer. And it's in today's balance. So today, I owe $1,000. That is my balance, okay? That is the credit card balance. It has nothing to do with the statement balance. That is total credit card balance. Okay? Now, let's look at the statement balance. It'll calculate the end of the billing cycle. Whenever your billing cycle is, that's what it's calculated. If your billing cycle is on the 5th, okay? And it calculates on the 5th. That is your end of your billing cycle. That is your statement balance. Although you might get the credit card statement 2 or 3 weeks in advance, or a week in advance, or whatever case may be, prior to the statement balance, but it's still there. So on the 7th of June, and now it's the 18th of June, but on the 7th of June, I had $1,000, and on the 18th of June, now it's $1,500. That is your credit card balance of $1,500. The statement balance is only $1,000 because on that particular statement, you only had $1,000, and it should be printed on the bill. So know the difference between credit card balance and statement balance, okay? And also, the statement balance is already going to reflect the new balance. Whatever the new balance is, it's going to reflect it. It's going to reflect it. Whatever new balance is going to reflect, and that is going to be your new balance. It really is, okay? Unless you use the card. If you're not using the card, then it's okay. Here we go. What is the daily periodic rate? It's all about interest, baby. It is all about interest. Once you learn this, you'll see how these people really. Look, I want a credit card. I want the Credit Commando credit card, okay? I'm telling you right now. Visa, American Express, I don't care who, talk to me. MasterCard, talk to me. I want this card because I understand how they're making money now, okay? The interest applied to the credit user balance daily. It's not a monthly thing, it's the daily thing. When they tell you they got 28% interest, they're applying that daily. And what that does is that makes them apply more, they earn more money rather than simple interest. It is not simple interest, it's a compounding type interest, okay? Determine how much interest is charged daily. Here you go. You have to calculate the credit card interest rate, which is the APR, by 365 or 360 days, whatever the credit card company uses, okay? Then what happens is you have to calculate by dividing the credit card interest rate by 365. And then, here's an example. If you're at the 28% rate, now look at this closer. This is how they're making their money. 28% divided by 365, okay, equals to 0.7% interest they're charging per day. Interest they're charging per day. So here we go. If you got $1,000 balance, $10,000 balance, times the 0.1% interest, they're charging $7.60 per day. That's a lot of money. $10,000. You see why I want a credit card? I just want to have it. Okay. What is credit card grace period? Well, base is the 21 minimum days you have to have. Paid in full, or when it's paid in full, the grace period starts again, and it's based on your cycles, okay? And it's also, credit institution will stop charging you interest on new purchases if you pay your credit card balance by the due date and not by the statement date. This is very important. I said this earlier. Bottom line up front, credit card financial institutions will stop charging you interest on new purchases if you pay your credit card balance in full by the due date and not the statement date. That is very important. All right, here we go. The grace period. The due date, payment due date, basic statement closing date. Okay? The payment due date required to make at least the minimum payment on the credit card. Statement date, statement closing date. The billing cycle ends and a new statement begins. Okay? When you want to pay. Okay? To avoid paying interest, fees, other charges, pay your bill by the payment due date. Now, you know, the credit commander has his own saying. He says one thing. Listen, pay your bills 5 days before they are due. And if you can pay them earlier than that, that's fine. You do not have to wait till your bills come due to pay them, especially when you're dealing with credit and you're mailing things off, okay? Now we have the internet. You can go on the internet. Anything can happen on the internet. Things happen, Okay, so if you pay it early, you don't have to worry about this. Why? Because it's already paid. And as you pay it early, you cut off that interest as well. Okay, some of the interest. Here we go. What is credit card grace period? To avoid paying interest and fees, always pay the credit card before the due date. Okay, credit commander says again, here we go. Suggest to pay at least 5 days before the payment date. Whatever you're buying. Okay, if you like that soda, you like that ice cream, you can buy it, you can have it. But make sure you, in order to avoid interest, pay at least 5 days. Okay, that's my strategy. All right. What is credit card interest? I am glad you asked. Okay, what is credit card interest? Let me see what credit card interest is. Okay, it is basically the amount of money charged for the use of the financial institution's money. When you buy goods and services, okay, the financial institution is trying to stay in business. They're trying to make money. How they make money? They make money by charging you interest off of their money. That's how they make money, okay? The institution when you pay the interest, the financial institution is holding your money hostage. Oh, nobody holding my money hostage. Yeah, they are, because they're taking it away from you. When you pay interest, that's money that you could be using for something else. Okay? But when you pay interest, I'm telling you, you got your hands, you got your money in your hand, but you got handcuffs on. Because the financial institutions, they're in business. They make money off of interest and fees and interest. And they want all of your money. They just don't want some of it. They want all of your money. That's why they keep adding all these fees and going up with the interest rates. Every night you try to get them to bring the interest rate down, and they have a fit until you go get a new card. Then they come back to, we can drive it for you because they know they're gonna lose you as a customer. So my situation is this: you're held hostage. Listen, get that rag out of your mouth. Take the blindfolds off. Take the handcuffs off of your hand and stand up and make your money work for you. Because those funds, you will never get back. You will never get them. Okay? How is credit card interest calculated? I just showed you something earlier. We talked about converting the yearly rate to the daily rate. You have to do that. You have to determine the average daily balance and the current balance. Then multiply the balance, the balance by the billing cycle of days. This is how interest is calculated. Let's take a look at it again. So, calculate by dividing the credit card interest rate, APR, by 360 or 365 days. We did that earlier. We came up with 0.76%. 28% divided by 365 days is equal to 0.076%, right, per day. Now, if you got a $10,000 balance, we told you that the $10,000 balance times the 0.00076 equals $7.60 per day. Now you got to take that times your billing cycle. So if you got a 30-day billing cycle, I just used 30 days, yeah, top of my head, you're going to pay off that $10,000 interest at 28%, $228 minimum. This is how they calculate it. Believe me, they're charging you interest by the day, not the month, not the year. And it's compounding interest. Once you learn this, you will get out the credit card. Now, if you're in the business, that's fine. Business credit cards are fine. The business credit cards are tax deductible. You need tax breaks, okay? On the personal side of the house, you need to kind of pay this off as quick as possible, okay? Here we go. How to reduce credit card interest. I'm glad you asked me how to do that. Pay your bills before they due. Not when they do, but before they do, okay? When you pay your bills before they do, you always pay your bills on time, okay? All right, what else? Pay the full statement balance monthly. You can decide to pay it on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, but pay it all off at the end of the month and don't spend that money. Pay more than the minimum payment. Now, we're going to talk about this minimum payment here, I think, next week. I'm going to pull some statements up and show you how long it takes to pay off just the minimum of $1,000 if you just pay the minimum, and how much interest that you are actually going to pay if you just pay the minimum. Okay? Never pay the minimum balance. Always if you have it, put extra money on it. Okay? If you don't have it, I can understand. But if you got the money, put extra money, because why? You're saving money by paying down the principal balance. Okay? So when you put the extra money in, you're actually paying on the principal, and you're knocking that principal down. As that principal go down, the interest go down as well. So you're saving more money. Do not use credit card and spend the cash. Not a wise decision. Using the credit card and spend the cash, again, it's not a wise decision. So if you're going to use card, save the money and pay the card off. Get your cash back card, a miles card, get you some type of point rewards or something type of card, so you can beat the credit card coming at their game. But you got to pay the statement in full. Okay? How to reduce credit card interest? Transfer balance to a low credit card. That's easy. We have to apply for the card, hopefully a zero interest card, transfer your balance 12 to 18 months, and guess what? Once you do that, divide the 12 to 18 months into your balance and try to pay it off. Set up automatic payments. Okay? You'll never be late if you set up automatic payment as long as the money's in the bank. You'll never be late if you set up automatic payment as long as the money's in the bank. Okay? But you got to have the money in the bank. Also, save for large purchases. Nothing says that you have to go and buy this large if you have time. Now, there are some instances where there's an emergency situation. That's fine. We understand that. We can't dictate what's going to happen from one day to the next. But if you have an opportunity to save up for a large purchase, better. That's why our emergency plan is so effective and it needed in our economy today. It needed in our household, because when something happens, a tire blowout, okay, you got money to go ahead and purchase another tire, put it on the car, and continue with your life. Okay? Make weekly payments if necessary. Bi-weekly payments. Okay? Whatever you do, pay it. What is an authorized user? Baby, I like authorized user. I just made some money yesterday doing this. And I'm telling you right now, if you ever get this credit card game, credit is a game. Credit card is a credit card game, baby. Once you learn how to use this credit card, I promise you can make more money on a credit card than you're on your job, and you're not doing anything. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to add a person onto your card, and it's easy, especially if you're making money. It's easy to do. It's easy to do. By the way, the Credit Commander is going to start an authorized user program very shortly. So anybody want to use credit cards, let me know, and I can show you how to build your credit. Okay? Anyone can be an authorized user. Anyone, as long as they're pretty much over 18, and that's pretty much the limit. Okay, anyone can be authorized. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your business partner, the people that you hate, the player down the street, even Pookie can be an authorized user. It doesn't matter. If you add him on the card, okay, he become an authorized user. What happens then? Sometimes there's a fee for adding authorized user, and sometimes, most of the time, there's not. But there are some cards that charge you a fee of anywhere from $50 to $75. Those are those expensive cards that have all those perks. So they're charging you for the authorized user, because they know if the authorized user uses their card, your points, your rewards, your miles, your cashback goes up, and they have to pay out more. Okay? Now, note, this is a money-making opportunity. You just got to know how to do it. Believe me, this is a money-making opportunity. I made a nice chunk of sum yesterday just doing this. Okay? Nice little sum yesterday. Authorized user. Okay, authorized users can make purchases with their card, assuming that the cardholder agreed. Now, if you're gonna be an authorized user, and you're gonna allow them to use the card, you're responsible. Okay, the primary card holder is responsible for making payment, not the authorized user. So if you have people build their credit, you don't want to give them the credit card. You want to be an authorized user, okay? You want them to help build their credit. Now, if they're responsible and you trust them, hey, remember, this is for educational purpose only, and I can't tell you what you trust or not, who you trust, who you don't trust, okay? But remember, if you give them that card and they use that card, baby, the responsibility is on you to pay it. I'm telling you. So be aware of that. Primary credit card account history is reflected on the other person's report. Whatever's on your report, reflect on their report. Now, if you had some bad credit on them, then you can authorize you, it files them on their credit. So you want to make sure you do authorize you that your credit is really crystal clean, okay? It builds credit and pays accordingly. You can build credit, then you get paid for it too. You can help people build a credit, you can help people get paid for it too. Some people are doing a business out of being an authorized user. Okay, if it hurts the credit, if it paid late or delinquent. So if you have an authorized user and you pay your bills late, you're gonna hurt their credit, not only your credit, but their credit too. Why? Because they're piggybacking off your credit. That's all they're doing. They have a thin file, you have a thick file, so all your thick file goes into theirs. Okay, make theirs thick, and instead of giving all your credit history, when you pay late, their credit score go down, and so does yours. Okay, I'm just telling you how it works, but I do love authorized users. Okay, pre-screening offers. Pre-screening offers. Sometimes I hate them, and sometimes I love them. It just depends on what they're all about. But a lot of finance institutions too offer pre-screening credit cards to consumers who qualify for special type of credit offers. Everybody don't get pre-screening offers because your credit may not be as well as it should be, okay? And if they give you pre-screening offers and your credit, if you have not so good credit, the interest rate is going to be high. The interest rate will be high. So be aware of that. Let's have good credit, at least fair to good credit, decent credit, okay? All right, and you're not approved. So when you get a pre-screen offer, oh, you pre-screened, you pre-approved, you pre-whatever it is. When that happens, it does not mean that they're gonna give you the card. The pre-screening offer only pulls a soft credit report. That's all they do. They go to the credit bureau and they say, hey, let me see it. Michael Jackson and see what his credit is like. So they go to Michael Jackson credit report and say, okay, you Michael D. Jackson, we pull up your credit. Okay, fine. All right. We can offer him, according to our policies and our regulations, we have this particular program out there. We can offer this to them, whether it's buying a car, whether it's furniture, whether it's credit card, whether it's even buying a house. Okay? You're pre-screened. All they're trying to do is hustle up business. This is a business tactic for the company so they can make money. Okay, now, if you say that you want the pre-screening offer, you must apply for the credit. Once you apply for the credit, you get in hard pull. Hard pull stays on your credit for at least 24 months. It files off on the 25th month. Now, this is a joint account. Look at this beautiful man and woman. They are married together, okay? Joint account have two users on the same account. That's why I call it joint. Two users, equally responsible for payment. If he uses the card or she uses the card, they both responsible. If he don't pay, she has to pay. If she don't pay, he has to pay. They both join together, but they on the card, they equally responsible for the payment. I don't care who ran the card up, okay? Who never used the card. But if both of your names on the card, on the joint account, both of you are responsible. Now remember, if the person who normally pays the credit card bill does not pay it, it's gonna hurt their credit and it's gonna hurt your credit, okay? Remember that before you get a joint account, these are things that you need to know about credit cards, okay? Let's look at it again. Affects both credit scores, okay? And one thing about I do like this, if one person's credit is not so good and another person's credit is great, if you have a joint account and you start paying it, it picks up it builds the other person's credit. It picks it up, take the score high, and you build the credit for the other person. The other person might have not so good, fairly decent credit, but then it brings that credit score up too as they begin to pay it, okay? Also, it streamlines the spending plan. If you got a spending plan and use credit card for everything, it's easy. You don't worry about no receipts, no nothing, because you're gonna get documentation in the mail. You're gonna get a statement in the mail, unless you opt out. You're gonna staple it in your mailbox if you opt out. Pull up this statement, look at it. You can go right down the line. This is food, this is gas, this is for Jimmy, basketball, soccer, this is for whatever, okay? It's a great way of starting a spending plan, okay? If you have a joint account. Credit cards are just a great way of starting a spending plan. The word of wisdom, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to thy own understanding. If you don't know something, trust in him. He will reveal it to you. He will tell you, okay? He will open up your understanding. And this is the reason why I do what I do. It's because I have an understanding of certain things and I want to spread my knowledge, my wealth, educational wealth to you all. My goal is to help 100,000 people. 100,000 people get their credit right. Improve their credit, get credit cards, buy a house, get a car, then put their kids in school. That's my goal, to help 100,000 people. That is the word of wisdom. Trust in love with all thy heart and lean not thy own understanding, okay? Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Remember, the credit card companies make their money off of fees and interest. Remember that. You can keep your money if you pay your credit card bills prior to at least 5 days to the payment date. And if you do that and you pay your card in full, you can keep your money in your pocket. You should be able to work your money, manage your money better than a finance institution can. This is Credit Commando. We out. Have a great and wonderful day.